Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. My name's Jess. I'm half reader, half writer, all bookworm, and in today's video, we are going to be going through all the books on my September TBR. So we are about 9 days into the month now, and I realized I never filmed a September TBR video. My TBR for this month is pretty ambitious, considering I didn't even complete like the 10 books I wanted to read last month. I'm trying to read 12 books this month. So let's just go ahead and get into this. The first book on my TBR is actually a continuation of a series I started back in the summer. This is Vow of the Shadow King. I read Bride of the Shadow King, book 1 in the trilogy, in the summer, like I said, and I really enjoyed it. I liked how inventive the world building was. I enjoyed the characters. It was just like a fun little ride. And so Vow of the Shadow King was on my list. I wanted to continue the series. Like I said, it is 9 days into September, so I have already read this book. So you'll have to wait for my September wrap-up to see what I thought of it. But basically this just continues the story of Vor and Ferrain, with their arranged marriage with a twist going on. There's like other things going on, political things going on in this book. There's a looming threat, and we get introduced to some interesting new characters. Yeah, and it's a romantasy with like a group that you don't really see. Like our male main character is a troll, but they call them trolled folk in this world. So it's just really interesting, and you get like some interesting spins on magic and takes on the lore and all that. Second book that I wanted to read in September, which I already read again because we're 9 days into the month, is Heartstopper Volume 5. This is the last Heartstopper volume that is currently out right now. I believe there's going to be one more volume that's coming out next year, but this just keeps following Nick and Charlie. Y'all know I love Nick and Charlie to death. Protect them at all costs. But yeah, this continues their story. Lots of changes are happening for Nick and Charlie as Nick kind of approaches the end of his like high school phase in his life, and Charlie's adjusting to that, and Nick's adjusting to that, and Charlie has things going on in his life. He's kind of pushing himself out of his comfort zone a little bit, which is really exciting to see. It was really cool like to see all the characters get together again and just follow their lives. It's just so like sweet and wholesome. It's like a slice of life anime, I guess, is like the best way I can describe it. So I just love reading these, and yeah, that's my second book on my September TBR. Third book on my September TBR, I do have Kindle Unlimited, so I try to read a Kindle book every month, and the one that I've chosen for this book is Filthy Rich Vampire. This is the first in a trilogy, and I've seen it before, and I have the second, well, I have like, I don't know if it's like a tie-in to this trilogy, but I have Filthy Rich Fae on my bookshelf. But I know the author released these books first, and I'm not planning on reading Filthy Rich Fae until next year anyway, so I figure why not go ahead and read the Filthy Rich Vampire books. But it basically just follows Thea, who is a cellist, and she's basically just struggling musician. She's our human in the story, and our vampire in the story is Julian, who basically is going through this vampire courtship situation that he doesn't want to be in. And so I think him and Thea are gonna like fake date so that he doesn't have to marry some female vampire. And I'm not super far into it. I think I'm about 5 chapters in right now, so that's all I really know. And it's fun so far. I like the humor in it, and I like how fast-paced it is. I also have Spotify, so I try to listen to a Spotify book to use those 15 hours of Spotify Premium that I have, because why not? So I'm going to use that to help me read The Naturals. This is basically a teenage version of Criminal Minds, is how I've heard it described. And this is book 1 of a series. I think there's 4 books in it. Yeah, there are 4 books in it because I have them all on my bookshelf. But yeah, I'm going to like read a chapter, listen to a couple chapters, that sort of thing with this one. I'm excited to get into that. It's fall cozy time, so I figure what better time to jump into this series. Last month I read Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies, and this month I wanted to read book 2 in that series, Emily Wilde's Map of the Otherlands. Yeah. And I just really liked the story. It's the first cozy fantasy I've ever read that I've enjoyed. I love the characters. I love Emily and Wendell, and I don't know, I can't wait to see where that goes. So I'm excited to read book 2. And the other book, I'm trying to make sure I don't leave anything out. Oh, Haunting Adeline, I read last year, I believe, and then it kind of scared me. Like, I swear the book gave me a nightmare or two, but I'm a glutton for punishment, I guess, or I just really want to see how it ended, because book 1 ended on such a cliffhanger, so I really want to see like what happens to the characters. So I'm gonna read Hunting Adeline this month, and hopefully not give myself nightmares again. So there you go. There's my that's my dark romance for the month. Let's see, I did 1, 2, I think that's it. Moving on to the books I actually have physically here with me, so I don't have to remember them. I want to read Bride by Ali Hazelwood. This is basically an arranged marriage between a vampire and a werewolf. It's giving me Twilight, and I'm all the way here for it, and I can't wait to read this. I've only ever read one Ali Hazelwood book before, Check in May, and I absolutely loved it, so I have high hopes for this one. This one is one that I got from Owl Crate. It's called After the Forest. It's giving me beautiful fairy tale vibes. I'm thinking that this is sort of a story about what happens after Happily Ever After. And I think there's a witch in it. So perfect for the start of the fall time. And then I want to read the entire Belladonna trilogy, because I finally have all 3 books in my hands, and I hate like when a book ends like on a cliffhanger or something and I don't have the next book. So I kind of wait until I have all the books to read them, or at least the majority of the books. So this is Belladonna. It's about a girl who basically can see death, and death kind of follows her around everywhere she goes. She's like been passed around from like relative to relative, and I believe there's like a murder mystery going on in here, and she basically hates death, but I think it's going to be like an enemies to lovers thing. I think she's actually going to fall in love with death, and I think these books just kind of like follow her story. So yeah, that's all the books that I want to read in September. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, The Wall of Winnipeg and Me. I wanted to read a football romance because September starts up football season. And so, yeah, I'm not really a huge football fan, but I live in Texas, so football is kind of a big deal. And I just wanted to read a football romance. This one sounded interesting, and I'm really enjoying it so far. I've already started listening to it on Audible. So, yeah, those are all the books that I want to read in September. Let me know if you've read any of these books, if you've enjoyed them, or let me know a book that's on your September TBR. I love you guys. God bless you guys, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.